How's it going, everybody? We have a Social Security taxation video for you guys today. A very common question I get on the channel is, Mike, how much money can I make before my Social Security income starts to become taxed? We're gonna address that question here today, and also we're gonna look at some of the other things I think you should know about when it comes to Social Security benefits and taxation. I want you guys to think of this video as part one of a two-part series. So in this video, we're gonna cover a few of the basic rules. And then in part two to this series, we're gonna look at a detailed spreadsheet on screen. And I'm gonna show you step by step how you can calculate how much of your Social Security income is subject to tax. But we're gonna do that in the next video because I hope to keep this one as short as possible. Whenever I produce a video on Social Security, I typically get comments in the comment section where somebody is raging about how the government has mishandled the funds for Social Security, how it's gonna go bankrupt by 2033. I totally get it. I totally get where you're coming from. So if at any point you want to, if it makes you feel better to drop those kind of comments down below in the comment section, go ahead. I think the good place to start here when it comes to Social Security benefits and taxation is to know it's not really as much about how much Social Security benefit income you receive for the year as it is your total combined income from other sources that will impact the taxation of your Social Security benefits. That's the bigger picture here. It's less about how much you receive from Social Security and more about your other forms of income that you're going to be reporting on your tax return. The rule of thumb here is the less income you receive from other sources like wages, retirement plans, and things like that, the more likely you'll be able to avoid taxes on your Social Security income. Obviously, the inverse of that is true. The more income you receive from other sources, the more likely your Social Security is going to be subject to tax. The two tables I'm showing you guys on screen talk about exactly that. So for single filers, which is this top table right up here, so if your income is from 0 to 25,000, 0% of your Social Security benefits are taxable. If your income is 32,000 up to 44,000, only 50% of your benefits are taxable. And if you're a single tax filer and you have an income from other sources of greater than 44,000, then 85% of the amount you receive from Social Security is subject to taxation. Looking at the married filing joint column now. So if you're married, if your income is from 0 to 32,000 from other sources, 0% is taxable. 32,000 to 44,000, 50% of your Social Security becomes taxable. Once you're over that 44,000 mark, if you're married and up, then your 85% of your benefits are going to become taxable at that point. The one good piece of news I do have for you guys is regardless of how high your income is, even if this was $1 million, then 15% of your Social Security benefits is always going to be tax-free. So no matter what your income is, 15% of your benefits are always going to be tax exempt. But on the reverse side, up to 85% of it, that means can be taxed or subject to taxation depending on your total other sources of income. Now, I was helping somebody with their taxes recently, and it really reminded me of this subject, and part of the reason I want to produce a video on this is that, so they're retired, and they get about $15,000 a year from Social Security, and they get $11,000 a year from a pension, okay? And that's their only other sources of income. So their other sources of income is only about $11,000. So with the Social Security at $15,000, none of it is subject to taxation because their other sources of income is below $25,000, and that's essentially how it works. So together, right, they get 15 grand from Social Security, and they get their 11 grand from their pension, $26,000 in income altogether, but that it's so low that they pay zero tax, and that's how it works out for them tax-wise. A really good thing to think about when it comes to Social Security benefits and taxation is what types of income or other income impact the taxation of your Social Security benefits. Believe it or not, most types do, but not all types of income will impact your Social Security. So the things that do impact it are wages, taxable interest, get this, tax-exempt interest. So if you try to hide all of your taxable income through tax-exempt interest, doesn't matter. They're going to see it. They're going to still make your Social Security benefits subject to taxation. So tax-exempt interest does not help you there. Dividends are going to impact it. Alimony would impact it. Business income, taxable IRA distributions only. So only taxable IRA distributions are going to impact it. Only taxable pension distributions are going to impact it. And of course, Notice that Roth IRA distributions and tax-free pensions do not impact Social Security because they're not on this list. This is huge. This is so big. This is why I stress about one of the best investment vehicles, in my opinion, is a Roth IRA. Because not only does the income within a Roth IRA accumulate and grow tax-free, it comes out tax-free as well, and it doesn't impact the taxation of your Social Security benefits. So in essence, theoretically, you could receive like $20,000 to $40,000 a year in dividends from a Roth IRA and still pay zero in tax on the Social Security benefits you receive. It's pretty freaking amazing. But that's all done with good planning, right? Good planning is what it takes to get there. And if you're able to see this video early on in your life, I hope you can structure your income and your retirement to help you do that. So what does a Social Security benefit tax statement look like? It looks something like this. It's the Form SSA-1099. It's a Social Security benefit statement. This is from 2016, and really the form has not changed at all from what I've seen, even all the way going back from 2005. It really looks exactly the same year after year after year. But what you're going to have in box 3, or in box 1, you're going to have the name of the recipient. So in this case, it's Chipper the Cockatiel. The Social Security number of the recipient. Benefits paid in total in 2016 is 10 grand. Net benefits is 10,000. Paid by check or deposit is 99,400, and Medicare premiums paid of 600. So you're going to see a line item that talks about your Medicare items right here. So total additions is 10 grand. Total benefits paid for the year is 10 grand. This is basically what it looks like. If you have a high income, or if you have a lot of income from other sources and you don't want to be hit with a huge tax bill unexpectedly, in box 6, you can tell them to withhold taxes on your Social Security. And I definitely, at work where I work on a lot of tax returns for a lot of wealthy individuals, I definitely see them doing that here. You don't have to, but it's something you can do to help you stay caught up with your taxes throughout the course of the year. So where does one report their Social Security income? It's pretty simple, it's pretty self-explanatory, but now this is the 2017 form. I'll show you 2018 in just a second, because when I was putting this information together, I didn't have the 2018 forms ready yet. I couldn't access them. So you guys can see here, your Social Security income would be reported right here, down here in box 20-A if you were filing a 2017 return, and the taxable amount would be right here. So obviously now things have changed though for 2018 because of the new tax form, so we have to look at that. So let me pull that up for you guys real quick so you guys can see. So on box 5A of 1040 page 2, so this is the first page of the 1040 right here of what the new forms look like. So you just go down to page 2, which it's supposed to be a postcard, so this would be on the back of the postcard. Line 5A is your Social Security benefits right here, and then the taxable amount would be reported right here. So very self-explanatory. So with that example that we were looking at with Chipper, we would have 10,000 right here because his statement showed 10,000. So for the example we just looked at, 10,000 of Chipper's Social Security benefits would be right here. And then I think, I can't remember how much I had on the last screen, but I think I had around 6,400 was subject to taxation, something like that. But you guys get the idea. But for 2018, this is where that's going to show up on the forms. All right, guys, so this was a quick, basic overview of the rules for Social Security and how your benefits might be subject to taxation based on your filing status and your different other sources of combined income and things like that. We talked about what the tax statement for Social Security looks like. We talked about where it's reported, and we talked about what types of other income and affect the taxation of your Social Security benefits and what types of income do not. So the next video and the next part, like I said, we're going to go over 2 step-by-step calculation examples of how you can determine for yourself how much of your Social Security is subject to tax. Now, I totally recommend using tax software when you're preparing your taxes, and that's going to help you, all the calculations work out for themselves. But it is good to know, and this is why I'm doing it in the next part, of how it actually all calculates out so you can see it with your own 2 eyes. I got 2 very detailed examples for you guys. You guys know from watching my videos, if you've been watching my tax videos, I can get pretty detailed so you guys can really, because my goal is always to help you. I can't help people understand how to prepare tax forms, but my goal with the channel is help people understand how taxes work and how these different areas of income impact your tax return, and that's what I hope to achieve there. So look for that in part 2. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me here on YouTube. I know it takes a lot of time out of your day to be here, but I really appreciate having you. If you liked the video, make sure to drop a like before you leave. It really helps us out. Be sure to share this information with a friend, especially somebody who's receiving Social Security and wants to know how taxation works on all that. If you're new to Money and Life TV, and if you want to learn more about finances, investing, and taxes, then I totally recommend subscribing to our channel by hitting that red subscribe button down below the video and also hitting that bell icon. That's going to notify you every time I upload a new video. And I typically release a new video about once per week. Sometimes my schedule at my day job gets way too hectic and I can't meet that schedule, but typically about once per week is when I release every new video. All right, guys, well, let me know what you think about all this stuff, these crazy rules, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. I will do my best to get back to you. I always love reading all of your guys' comments. And like I said, if you want to do a rage comment about Social Security going bankrupt and all that stuff, feel free. If it makes you feel better, all means, you have at it. All right, guys, I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.